Thank you for coming on the show, ma. Um, Again, like I said, I know the combination of you and Mrs. Blessing is always power packed. And we look forward to learning so much from both of you today, um, gaining so much wisdom and insight from your abundance, wealth of wisdom. And you'll be talking to our viewers at home today from the angle of infertility or delay in childbearing, how this can actually affect and make marriage a hard work, wrapped with all that stuff. But I would like to introduce you formally. We have Mrs. Oyedokun all the way from Maryland, here in United States of America. Welcome on the show, ma. Do you have anything you want to tell our viewers at all before we dive into today's show?
Thank you so much for having me once again. I enjoyed being with you guys last week, and I'm here again to rub minds together. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma. Thank you, ma. So we're going to dive right into the show today. And I would like to give you the opportunity to tell us about what you do. And I know this is related to marriage, even for people that are married and for people that are still single. And to also enlighten us. And I'll be starting with Mrs. Blessing about finances because a whole lot of people believe that marriage is based on how much you have in your bank account. Even the people that are not yet married, most of them they are not ready to get married because of that. And the people that are in marriage already, uh, they make it revolve around this. I would like you to share your insights, coupled with your background, your what you're seasoned with, how we can make finances to make marriage a hard work or to make marriage enjoyable one, and also your advice to people watching the show today, to people that are married. Again, the goal of this show is to we want the married couples to remain married, and we want the young adults to choose right. Over to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much. Finance is an interesting topic when it comes to marriage or to life in general. And I just want to say thank you for that. Bringing this up through your platform is something that we all need to learn because it is not taught anywhere in school. Now, for me as an individual, my passion is, and what I do with my platform is to teach people how to build wealth. That is just build wealth and preserve wealth and pass those wealth on to the next generation. And to be honest, finance is just one of the 6 pillars of wealth. It's just one aspect of wealth. And if we go to finance as itself, is something that affects every area of our life. When it comes to marriage, we are constantly making financial decisions, whether you like it or not. The school you're going to send your child to, in fact, let's even start from the marriage itself, like you said, to decide to have a wedding or not, to even decide to make that commitment that I'm telling you, like you said, so many people are held back because they don't think they have enough money to be able to get married. There are so many things. And even when you're into the marriage, almost every day you're making one financial decision or the other, starting from your health. It affects every area of your life. To the job you're gonna have, it affects every area of your marriage, finance. Now, one of the things I say is you can look when we talk about finance, let's talk about money, itself. When we talk about money, it's all about how do you view money? Do you view money as something to spend, or do you view money as a tool? And that is one of the things I try to teach people, teaching people money as a tool. And how do you earn money? Money comes in as a value. How you spend money also depends on the values you have. You know, everything, every time you make a decision, money decision talks about your value. What is most important to you? So when you to answer your question about how finance affects marriages, if you have a bad view of money, especially again, the fact is that our society has done us so much disservice. And if you don't understand the area of finances, you're also going to do disservice, not just to yourself, but also to your children and to your generation. You know, this is not taught. We are taught from the time we start going to school, we are prepared, we are being prepared for a job. And the essence of getting a job most time is to get this money and pay bills. That is just the average education we have about money, about finance. But there's no breakdown on how finance itself work as a tool. So you see people, because we don't understand, we think that money should take the first place in instead of the money should take the first place in our decision making. Like, let's say for example, you are talking about getting married. What relationship I have, people forget that sometimes the what's it called, the the way we treat money comes from how we are being taught at home, because we are not taught in school. So if from your family you don't have that good relationship on what money is, how you use money, what are the priorities when you're spending money, how do you spend money, how do you save money, how do you grow, invest, and all of those things. So if we don't try, and that is one thing I tell people, once you are in courtship, it's all about you understanding how this person views money, what is this person's relationship with money, because at the end it's going to affect how you as a family right now is going to deal and deal with money. If you marry somebody that is a heavy spender and you are somebody that is very interested in building and in saving, then there comes a problem. If you don't deal with it before you get into marriage, there's going to be a huge issue when you get in the marriage, because you see somebody that is all about bring the money, let's spend it, and you see somebody that is all about, well, let us build. There's always going to be that conflict of interest somewhere. And that's why it is important. I tell somebody, don't go into marriage if you don't understand how this person thinks about money, and craft a financial goal for your family before you even step into the marriage. And one thing people forget is that they think, oh, I need to see the money, have the money before I plan for it. No, you plan before the money comes in, because if you have no plan and money comes in, that money is going out. People don't know. Our hands are like baskets. Without it neatly packed and all of that, as that money is coming in, it's going to drain. There's so many things to spend money on. Literally. So I tell people, before you get into marriage, it's very crucial that both of you think about it. And you know what? You're going to see, it's very evident when you see people with money issues, is when it comes to marriage, when it comes to what's it called, wedding planning. It's very clear to see people's behavior around money when it comes to how they are planning for their wedding. Yeah, you can easily see it. The heavy spender wants to go all out, impress people that don't even care. And that is where you can catch those clues to say, hold on a bit. And I guess maybe during the talk, when you, as the questions are coming in, I can also share my own what's it called, experience. I've been married right now. Just I like to share experience of how myself and my husband we deal with when it comes to finances. There is always a goal. Money is a tool, and if each person's view that as a as a tool, then it's easier to make those decisions. But I'll just stop here so that my sister, so that we can I will just stop here.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Blessing. That is a powerful bomb. So money not planned for before it even comes, it will be spent irrationally. Wow, that's a powerful tool. I will let you talk, Mrs. Oyedokun. You're going to tell us about what you do and how infertility or delay in childbearing can actually make marriage a hard work. And you're also going to talk about your area of expertise, your own journey, which actually brought forth this mission, this platform that you do, what you do to encourage and to help young adults and married couples out there. Over to you, Ma.
All righty. Thank you so much once again for having me. I am so grateful and do not take the opportunity lightly. Um, I'm speaking out of Life Bloom came out of a burden, came out of a pain. Let me say that. You know, there's always a saying that your pain leads to your purpose, and sometimes you just hear it, but when it's actually coming to reality, then you can feel the weight and the sense of it. By God's grace, I have an accounting background, but in this place where we have a coach and an advocate, and Life Bloom is an organization where we create awareness about endometriosis, infertility, PCOS, and all women related issues that can affect women. Um, our social media are majorly to create the awareness, YouTube, Instagram, and all the like, are majorly to create awareness to spread the majorly about women's health, our owners, and what we can do, our support system, and everything. Because healing is an holistic journey. I tell people a lot of healing is an holistic journey. You cannot just do it in the physical and not do the spiritual, or not have your support system, or not seek medical counsel, or even mental health join together with it. So, having said that, I'm just going to briefly share my own journey, and I hope that it would encourage some people on the call will be able to relate to it. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well, Ma.
Yeah, that people will be relate to it. By God's grace, like I said last week, I've been married for 18 good years, and God has been so faithful in His infinite mercy to bless us with two kids. But the two did not come just like that. The two, for me, my own experience was different. We have people that when they get married, once they, come together and everything is just boom, 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 right away. But I didn't have that luxury. I didn't have that experience. So for me, those two kids are like apples in a pen, because they came out of speaking, they came out of waiting, they came out of pain, out of challenge, and a lot of you know prayers, crying, and all the like. So I started my period at the age of 12, and just a few months after I started my period, I started having this severe excruciating pain. I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know what was causing it. I didn't know what it was called. I just knew that I was having this pain. And initially, when the pain started, it was something that I could handle, I could manage. Because at then, when I started, I think I was in just one or just two. So it was something, and I went to a boarding school, so it was something that I could handle and everything. But as time progresses, every month when I'm on my period, this pain shuts every activities down. I'm paralyzed. I cannot do anything for like 3 to 4 days. I will just be, you know, on my bed in pains and just rolling and everything. Will not be able to eat. Will be throwing up and all kinds of things. Eventually, when I got home on holiday, I told my mom, and she took me to the doctor, and they said, "Oh no, the doctor they dismissed my pain. They said, "Oh no, it's just because I'm just starting my period. It's all in my head that maybe my pain tolerance was low, this and that, and everything." Fast forward, I went to see the doctors couple of times, even within within the period of time that I was in secondary school. But they kept dismissing it and everything. So at a point, I just gave up and I was just like, okay, maybe this thing is all in my head. Maybe we women were meant to endure pain. Maybe that's what we're created for. That's what how God has created our body. If we have to go through the pain of childbirth, then maybe this is how it starts. So as I was, I was just like, you know what, maybe that's what I have to deal with as a woman, and my mom could not relate because she didn't have it growing up. So fast forward, she asked around, she asked some of her friends, do you know what's coming? Da, 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 da. Some of them, just gave her advice that okay, that I just have to endure it till I get married. That once I get married, things will get better as I start having. So I just believed it, and I was just dealing with it with over the counter medication, paracetamol, and all that. I would take a hot shower in my period. When I'm in my period, I can take shower like 3-4 times because the heat just helped to calm my body down, and then just you know take the pain medication. And so that was how I was struggling with it and everything. I was dealing with it until I got married. I got married at the age of I think 27, and so between 12 and 27, that was already like I think 15 years. That I endured and just was just managing it, and it's even still at that point. I didn't know what the name was called. I just knew that I was having this pain. And there was nobody to talk to because I didn't know who else was experiencing it and all that. By the time we got married, it became worse. And by the time I got married, I was even happy because that stuff was stuck in my head when my mom told me that they said when I get married, it will start getting better as I have kids and I'm sexually active. So that stuck in my head. When I got married, I was really very happy that, finally, this is the cure. Unknown to me, it wasn't the cure. It was just the beginning of pain and challenge on another phase. One of the major symptoms of endometriosis is painful sexual intercourse. So as I begin to journey, fortunately for me, I'm married to a medical person. So after a couple of years, and as we got married, we're also trying to have kids. But after like 2 years, because I was being drawn away because of the pain. Sometimes I have to give in because I'm married and I don't want to starve my husband and everything. So sometimes I will give in, but with pain, something that I'm supposed to be enjoying, I will be doing it and having pain and all that. At the point, my husband could not take it and he was like, no, we have to, just seek medical help. You know, Obviously he kind of understand what was going on, but also he wanted to confirm and make sure that we're having the right diagnosis because he also was a doctor. So fast forward, we went for we went to see multiple different doctors until we found the right doctors. And that's very common to endometriosis patients or people that are looking for children, to try multiple until you find one that you're comfortable with. I tell people all the time, you have the liberty to leave any doctor if they're not treating you right or you're not getting what you feel you deserve. Because we need to start being our own advocate for ourselves and begin to speak up as women. So we tried multiple doctors. Eventually, we find a doctor that we felt connected with and that was ready to listen to us. Every other doctors, they were dismissing, they were misdiagnosing, and eventually down the line, while I was researching on this condition, I discovered that it was normal because the doctors themselves are struggling to find out what exactly is the cause of this condition. And so even right now, we just still don't know the condition. Worldwide, we still don't have an idea of what it is. A lot of research is going on and everything. So we found a doctor, thank God. And as we were presenting our case, the doctor said, "What you're presenting to me looks like an endometriosis, but we're gonna have to confirm it." with a surgery, a procedure. It's called laparoscopy. That's the only way you can confirm if it's endometriosis or not. It's not something that you can see and everything. So we said, okay, at least let's get to the bottom of it. And so initially the doctor thought, okay, if it was endometriosis with laparoscopy, maybe they might be able to take care of it and treat it. Um, Unfortunately for me, when they went in, the day of my procedure, when they went in, they discovered that because it has taken that long time, you know, this was already more than, I've been dealing with this for more than 15, 17 years at that point, you know. So it has really, really affected my pelvic area, my womb, my uterus, everything, my digestive organs and all that. It has meshed everything up and tangled everything together. So when we came out of the procedure, the doctor told me, you know what, it's a mess in there, and laparoscopy will not be able to take care of it. Was a little bit disappointed, but was glad that we were able to get to the bottom of it. It confirmed that procedure actually was what confirmed and diagnosed that I had, I think, stage 3 or stage 4 endometriosis. So we fast forward, she referred me to another doctor who then specializes in endometriosis, and we went in for a surgery. The surgery took me 11 hours for them to be able to clean up everything because they were dealing with delicate organs and they didn't want to have to destroy any of my organs so that we won't be having to deal with another issue entirely. So that took 11 hours, and I had to be in the hospital for like, I think, 6 or 7 days. Um, had some other complication after that. But God did it. I started healing. It took like, I think, 6 or 8 months. And after that, because this condition called endometriosis is a chronic condition, it has no cure as we speak. You can only manage it, but it's also a progressive kind of condition. And what does that mean? It means that even like they did in my own, they went in, they cleaned it up, they scraped out everything because it's a growth. It was growing. Endometriosis is a growth that is growing outside of the uterine wall. So normally as a woman, we have something called the uterine lining, and it's supposed to be there. But now imagining that stuff growing outside where it's not supposed to be. So that was what was happening. So the surgery was to clean it up and did everything. And by the time they were done, my doctor called me while I was still healing. You know what? We might need to do, because it's a progressive thing, and if I don't get pregnant immediately, um, it will go back, because I don't get pregnant immediately and I start my period again, the growth hits on estrogen. And you know that when we're doing our period, that's the hormone that we release. We release estrogen when we're doing our period. So we needed to suppress that estrogen with pregnancy or hormonal therapy, which we didn't want to go into. So my doctor suggested that, you know what, I don't want to take a risk of having to say that you guys should go and try naturally. Let's just resort to IVF. So we did our first IVF, and we thank God, it was successful, and that was what gave birth to our first daughter. And after that, I was really very hopeful. I was like, oh, I think I've passed the hurdle of endometriosis. And at this point, we were already 5.5 years into our marriage before we had our first kid. So I was like, you know what? I think we've passed that hurdle and everything should be fine. But lo and behold, as God we have it again, we had to wait for another 11.5 years to have a second child. And we did a couple of IVFs that failed. I think I did roughly about 8 IVFs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a lot on this just one body. I had multiple other surgeries. I think totaling to like 6, 7 surgeries that I had, and eventually we had one miscarriage, and eventually my husband was like, you know what, I'm okay with one child, you know. But as a woman, I wanted one more. I wanted more, not even one more, but I wanted more. I just didn't want the child to be an only child and everything. So, I just said, after the miscarriage, my body wasn't responding. I think we tried two other IVF. My body was just shutting down and everything. So at some point I wanted to give up. But I told God, I remember I went on a retreat. And before I left on that retreat, I told God, I said, all I need is a word. I just need one word from you. And as I was entering the hall where we'll have a meeting, the Holy Spirit said unto me, on Mount Zion there shall be deliverance. And I held on to that word. I wrote it down. And immediately we finished the meeting for that night, I ran into my room because I had it in my spirit, it was clear. There was no doubt that that was the Holy Spirit. So I had on my spirit, on Mount Zion there shall be deliverance. So as I got into my room, I looked at my Bible. Where is this verse? I saw that it was in Obadiah 1:17. I said, "This is it. This is it." So I sent a message to my husband. I said, "This is the word God is giving me, and we're going to pray this until we see the deliverance, because He never fails." The Bible says He honors His word even more than His name. So I held on to that, and my husband also agreed with me. We prayed it, everything, and it just came to my mind that we should just try one more IVF, and we did, and that was what gave birth to my daughter, my second daughter. It was a lot of other challenges because 11 and a half years endometriosis has grown back. So I had more complication after we had. I was through C-section. After we had, I had to go in for another surgery that same day, and that took another 8 hours. After they brought out the baby, I was in the ICU for another 6 days. I couldn't even hold the baby. I couldn't talk to the baby. But I am also fighting to gain back my life. But we thank God because I'm still here. I'm standing, and this is why life bloom. This is the budding out of where life bloom was back, because at life bloom we believe that every woman should bloom without a stigma, without a shame. Because one of the things that endometriosis does is, because we have no idea of what is causing it, a lot of time it causes shame. It causes us to be stigmatized, and then we feel ashamed that, oh, why is this happening to me? Have I done anything wrong? Blah blah blah. And so it's also a gloomy kind of thing, and it pushes people into depression, affect their mental health and everything. So we're out here now, to create the awareness, and also to advocate, and I also coach people to help to navigate with my experience, what I did and what worked for me, and how they can also gain from that. So I'll stop there so that if there's any question I can take.
Thank you so much, Ma. We have questions, but I don't just want us to fizzle out of all what you've said. I want to bring out some important points, and I also want you to speak briefly on that. I know that there are a lot of women out there married. Maybe they are watching this show now, or they will watch it later, or somebody here is representing them. No, one or two women out there experiencing delay in childbirth or experiencing infertility issue that they don't even know what discussing it, and you've actually went through a lot. Doing 8 IVF, and many of it failed. That's a whole lot. And also bearing the pain, going under the knife, doing surgery for almost 8 times, if I'm not mistaken. That's a whole lot. Which I think where you live actually help you to navigate the journey, because people in Nigeria might not really have that opportunity. I know that there are some young adults that will watch this show, or some people will have every period that comes with pain, they just feel it is normal. And before they get married, and this becomes issue. I know that you do awareness in Nigeria. I know that you partner with some group of people in Nigeria to spread this word so that a young girl will not go through what you went through, so that a married woman will be able to get the right help, so that their marriage will not split apart, so that their home will not break. I really want you to emphasize on that, your impact in Nigeria, West Africa, who you partner with. If there is anybody watching us on this show that knows a male or female child going through this every period, and they think it's okay, take paracetamol, how can your platform help them so that they don't go through this journey? And the people that are even married going through this journey that just go, oh, I don't just like it when I have sex with my husband because it's painful, but they don't know the hidden truths behind that. How can you help them so that they can leverage on this platform to get the solution that they need?
All
And
right.
also for people that are here in America or in other part of the world, how can they liaise with you to get the help that they need?
All right. Thank you so much. One of the things that we do as Live Bloom, we do so many things. One of the major things that we do is we're creating awareness, and we're creating awareness, like I said, through our social media platform. So I know that Mrs. Oguro will probably just link some of our platform on this channel for people to go and watch some of the stories that I told on them, and we brought some medical people as well and some of other people. So that's one way that we do it. We also do a campaign. Our first campaign we did with Oyedokun, we partnered with Life Church, Life Church in Abeokuta. We're currently planning another one in the next 1 or 2 months in Lagos, and also we're planning another one in Kaduna in the north, because we want to be able to. The honest truth is, 40% of Nigerian women have endometriosis. It's a lot of
Hmm.
men. Some of them don't even know because they don't know what it's called. You know, they're having pain, and because of our culture, we have normalized pain. We have normalized that it's normal for a woman to go through pain. It is not normal. Let me tell you on this platform, it is not normal. Any pain that you are going through that paracetamol or over the counter pain medication cannot relieve, you need to seek help. You need to speak up. So
Hmm.
that's number one. We're doing campaign, we're creating awareness. It's number one. We also have a Life Bloom community support that we do. It's a group, it's a community group on WhatsApp. But if you go on whether Facebook or Instagram, there's a form there that you have to fill. Let me quickly say this. We do not only deal with endometriosis, we do not only accommodate people with endometriosis, because we know that women go through a lot. Some people have
Hmm.
endometriosis, some people have fibroid, some people are
Hmm.
dealing with PCOS, you know, some people their own is infertility. You understand?
Hmm.
Some people theirs is miscarriage. they get pregnant or they're just miscarrying the baby. So that's what the community is all about. On the community, we provide more support, more help to people. We engage, we pray together, we talk together, we rub minds together. And I also come in there, I bring people on there to share. We have more close related people, and people can also access me more on there, especially with the coaching part. One of the things that we also have the foundation part, because as time goes on, like you said, I'm here, and that by God's grace that has helped me to get the one of the best medical care. But we know that it's not like that in Africa. So we also want to be able to partner. We're also looking for partners that will be able to partner with us, because we have the foundation part of livelihood, so that we can start to help people with medical expenses, especially with a focus of especially people that are dealing with infertility and need help with maybe IVF, IUI, and all that. Um, that's one of the other things that we're doing, because we want to be able to have a proof of what we're doing, letting people know that if you partner with us, or you work, or you come through us, we can actually advocate for you, support you, and help you to be able to. But I also want to touch on the basis of infertility and marriage. If you go to on my YouTube, there's a video that myself and my husband we spoke about it. It's called support system. Let me tell you something. No matter the health challenge that you're going through, you need a support system. It's part of what will make the journey of healing more easy on you. Because, say for instance, I went through multiple surgeries. I went through multiple surgeries. If I don't have a good support system in the person of my husband, my church family, my own family, his own family, community that were built to help support us, it was going to be very challenging. It was going to be very challenging, because this last one, with the delivery of my second daughter, I just released a video this week on my YouTube channel talking about how I spent 22 days in and out of the hospital after delivery. When I had my baby, remember, I had the surgery 8 hours after they brought out the baby. So I was in the hospital for 8 days. We actually named the baby, we did the naming in the hospital. And then I got discharged, and I came home, and I was all happy. Even not strong, but at least I'm in the comfort of my home. I can be healing and everything. And lo and behold, 5 days after, I started running temperature. My blood pressure started going high and everything. My husband, tried to manage it as much as he could under in our house. But by the time we were getting to the evening time, it was like this might go out of hand, especially with my numbers just going high the roof. So he called back the hospital, and I was asked to come in. I got back in, and they readmitted me, and they ran some tests and discovered that I had infection, because before they discharged me, I had NG tubes, I had catheter in me, and all those stuff. So I had all those wires and everything, and I brought them home, because I hadn't finished healing. So apparently, I had infection, to cut the long story short, and I was admitted. And after that, and everything, after 7 days again, I was discharged. And, getting back home again, thinking that, I've fought that and I've conquered, only to start throwing up again. There was just one night that all through the night I was just throwing up. All through the night till daybreak, could not hold anything, not even water, no juice. So when it was afternoon, my husband had to call the hospital, and I was asked to come in again. I went in, they ran some tests, did some scans, and they discovered that I had a bowel obstruction. And so I had to be readmitted the third time. I say all this to say, if there was no good support system, my husband was the one taking me back and forth. We had some people, friends, and family that were coming in to help with my family at home. The children that we left with my daughter and my nephew and my mom, that were at home. So we had a community. Support system is key. Part of what we also do is also to collaborate with some mental health psychiatrists, professional licensed therapists to also cater to people. Because let me tell you something, some of these things rather, affect our mental health. When I was going back and forth the hospital, there was a time I told my husband, I said, you need to get me out of this hospital right now because these 4 walls of this hospital is driving me nuts. I need to see, I need to see sun. I need to see my children. I need to go out. But I was in pain. I had a lot of eyes wired on me and everything because it has started affecting my mental health. So when you don't have somebody to talk to, we are not created to be an island. We're created to live in community. So you need to have somebody like a coach, a mentor, a guardian, an advocate that can help you navigate and you can rub minds together constantly because that's where the issue of mental health then comes in. But like I said, in marriage, it takes two to tango. You have to be able to work. We said this last week. You have to be able to work together. Bible says, can two work except they agree? No, they cannot. And so we have to be able to support each other. And yes, we're talking about women, but it also affect the men. It's the other way around. You have to also do the women that will be able to support your husband. But I'm very grateful that I have a wonderful and a very supporting, loving husband that was always there at every step of this journey with me. That made a lot of difference. I won't lie. If it was the other way around, I probably might not be here. So let me stop
Thank
here.
you. Thank you so much, Mer, for all the wealth of wisdom that you poured out. And to our viewers at home, Mrs. Oyedokun, she's on Facebook, she's on Instagram, she's on YouTube as Life Bloom. You can check the banner that is scrolling. We have a name, a handle there. And also in the comment section, we have a Facebook page there. You can actually connect with her because the issue of infertility or delay in having child in marriage is a big issue that we don't have to overlook. It has to be dealt with. And especially for the young adults going through a severe pain when they have their menstrual cycle, that is not normal. You've heard it from our speaker. It is not normal. If you know anybody, or if you have a child that goes through a serious, severe pain during their menstrual cycle, it is not normal. Please do yourself a favor by connecting with Mrs. Oyedoku. And you can reach out to us if you can't get up. We'll be able to link you up. And also, they offer several stuff counseling, help with IVF, IUF, infertility, delay in childbirth. They can help at least put you in the right path. And they also need some um, sponsors also. So at least connect with her because this is a big issue. We don't want any marriage to break, and we don't want anybody out there to not to want to get married because of what they are going through or their body is going through. Anyway, we've said a whole lot. We are almost out of time. And Miss Blessing is just like, what's going on? Anyway,
No, actually, her testimony is just so powerful. Honestly, I'm happy that we are sharing this. I said I pray before this program. Somebody's life is about being transformed. You never can tell. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll let Miss Blessing wrap it up. But before then, there was someone that sent in a question for Mrs. Oyedokun. And I'm going to cast a question. Oh, okay. I won't cast it for privacy's sake because
Okay.
some people don't like that. She said, please, is implant family planning without period is it dangerous? 5 years, 5 years now. Uh, I don't really get that question.
Yeah,
I think
that question needs more clarity. Do you have children, or why are you doing family planning? If you don't have children, why are we doing family planning? If you don't have children and you want children, then you shouldn't be on that on family planning thing. Except you don't have children and you don't want children, then that's understandable.
but she made mention of a big point there, ma. She said without period. It seems as if that person is not having a menstrual period.
Yeah, so there has to be more to it. It can be an hormonal issue. A
Mm.
lot of people that I've seen and I've spoken to, when they don't have their period regularly, it's usually due to an hormonal imbalance. But that person will have to take it offline so that we can
So
actually.
the person have three kids. Um, three kids. Uh, I don't. As in, please try to resend and rephrase your question.
I think if I can say what I maybe she is using an implant, maybe an
Mhm.
IUD or the one that you put in
So,
your palm. And she, you know what? Sometimes when you use something like that, like I use an IUD, and then you go through this period of dryness. There's no period coming, and probably she's asking. Maybe we'll need more information. Maybe she's thinking maybe to have other kids later on. Is
Mm.
it good or bad? How does that affect infertility? Do you have any experience with that? Maybe from people that have gone through your program.
no, if you have kids, what I know about all these implants and birth control, or yeah, thing is that when you have kids and you don't want to for that period, or you don't want to have anymore, and you do all these implants, then it helps stop you from conceiving. Some help, some don't. I've seen people with implants that still got pregnant. But if you're asking if it has side effects, the honest truth is there's no medication that does not have side effects. You understand? So you just have to be able to look at your body. You have to know your body composition, know how things affect you, everything. And if it's not working for you, you need to talk to your doctor and have a change. If it's working for you, then fine. If you want more kids, I don't think it's going to prevent you from having more kids if you take it out, you know. Um, but we'll probably need more clarity on the question.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is I'll try to connect with her
Okay.
and give her your detail and also make sure I follow up to make sure that she contacts you to
Okay,
be able to get a question answered.
no problem.
Um, we're gonna wrap this up, but before we wrap it up, uh, what would be your general advice, Ma, before I switch to Miss Blessing to wrap us up on the program? What would be your general advice to couples out there having delay in childbirth, childbearing, or dealing with one thing or the other, infertility? What would be your advice to help them with their marriage?
I think my number one advice is trust God. Trust God. There's nobody that put their trust in God that God fails. He's always coming through. And one of my favorite Bible passage that I held on to is in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, I think verse 11 or 12, that says, it makes all things beautiful in his own time. Our time is not God's timing, and God does not work with our timing. And we cannot box God to do it our own time or to do it in our own way. So trust God. If you're a child of God, trust God. That's number one. Number two, seek help together as husband and wife. Seek help together because it will help you in lot when you seek help together. When you go for your appointment together, you hear what the doctor is saying together, it will help you. Trust and believe. I've been there in issue and I know how it feels. It will help you a lot of time because you guys will be able to bounce things off each other. It will not be, oh, you went for doctor's appointment and your husband is not there, and now you have to come and give the husband the feedback, and the husband is asking questions and you don't know the response to give. So when you are there, everybody's asking their question and both getting the feedback. So, you know, seek help together. That's number two. Number three is that you guys should just as much as possible support each other, love each other in that season. Because the honest truth is, in the period of waiting, the tendency to drift away of each other is very high. Especially, in the point we women, we are quick to say, oh, I want to go to this church and pray and fast. I want to go to this mountain and pray and fast. I want to do this. We women were always more, out there when it comes to, and the men are kind of like, just looking and taking it too, but support each other. Even if you're not going to wherever she's going all the time, encourage her, support her. Let her know that everything will be fine. That was one of the things that my husband did to me. At the time, my husband was like, woman, I'm okay with one child. You don't have to stress your body, stress your health, stress yourself because you want to have more kids. I'm okay with one child. As long as God has blessed us, let us and he said, you know what? If that's what you want, I will support you. But I don't want you to feel as if you are being pressured because you want to have more children from me. So support is key. Loving the person is very key. I will stop there.
Thank you so much, Mom. I really, really appreciate you. We really, really appreciate you opening up and sharing your wonderful journey with us. Even though there was several pain along the journey, but we were able to share it openly with us so that they don't go through the same thing that you went through. We really, really appreciate it. God bless you. Mrs. Blessing, I would just want you to give a final word of advice on finance and how married couples can protect and safeguard around that so that it doesn't make their marriage a hard work. And also, one advice for the young adults out there regarding um, finances, thinking they have to have these billions of naira or dollars in their account before they say, I do. Just wrap us up on that. Very
Yes. Yes, I just want to say that it's rare for people, one, wealth requires time. I always tell people, building wealth needs time. You need to give time to make wealth work for you. So you cannot go with the mindset. Some people already get married into to somebody that has already arrived, like they say in Nigeria, have arrived. For those who that know that that they have arrived, some you need to walk alongside and build that journey. It's a journey, and I tell somebody, don't write people off because of where they are today. Don't marry to what somebody have today. Marry into the person's future vision. That's why it's good to sit and talk about it. Where are we going? You need to have like financial objective, like vision for your family. What kind of wealth are you looking at? What kind of money do you want to have? Do you just want to have money that you can spend and show off, or you want money that even when you are long gone, the next generation will still be benefiting? And what are those tools that you need to put in place? Like, for example, you need to know how much, like, you must, I tell everybody, know what is your financial freedom number and work to make sure you build assets that compensate that financial freedom number. I tell somebody, look at this. I don't care who you are. If you are making $20,000, let's say, for example, you're making $20,000, you have the good job making $20,000 in a month for you, but you are spending 18,000, your expenses at the end of the day is $18,000, let's say, for example, in a month, you are poor. Compare that to somebody, I'm just saying, compare that to somebody that is living in one room apartment that has assets. Say that person is making $5,000 in a year out of those assets, and their expense in a year, in a month, sorry, their expense in a month is say $4,000. But it is an asset. They have assets that producing that income, that money every month that does not depend on them. They don't have to work on that to make that money. That person is way wealthier than the person having 20,000, because guess what? If something happens to that person making $20,000 in a month, guess what? That source of income is gone. They are back to square zero. So I tell people, focus on building as a family is very important. And I tell people, building wealth does not matter how much you're earning. What matters most is how much tools do you have in terms of how much, say for example, you have. It does not matter how much you're earning, it matters how much you make your money work for you. If you understand early on how to make money work for you, I tell you, forget about the people you see driving those cars, because what pushes us most of the time is that, oh, I need to buy a big house. I tell most people, when you ask them about money, I want to make it so that I can drive big car, I can live in a big house, and I can do that. Those things are just, they are very minimal of what wealth should be. Wealth is freedom. Wealth is choice. That you can decide today, I want to take my family on a vacation without thinking about the money coming in. Wealth is memory. Building good memory, good moments with your family. I tell people, see what my parents, my dad, and this is what drive what I do. When he was alive, he was a veterinarian. And at least when you come to my house, there is always party going on. This man, that was in the, I don't even know, early 2000 and all of that. This man, the whole of the community, you come there, there is one party. He was learned. He had, when it says spendable money, he had it. But something at the back, he does not have it. He didn't know how to make money work for him. And I remember the first and only conversation I would have with my dad. I was 12, I was 11 going to 12. He was sick. He looked at me in the eye as his daughter, and he called me Ada. I will send you to the best university in the world. I asked my dad, are you leaving me? He was sick at the moment. He said no. Fast forward 4 months later, my dad passed away. I believed with every ounce of blood in me that my dad already made preparation for the future for me. He believed in education. He loved school. And I can still remember when my brother, Eda's brother, had to go to the local government because he worked with the local government to bring back his briefcase and all of that. Only paper was inside. There was nothing. My dad had widows, had orphans on his payroll that he was taking care of. He would kill cows for nothing, throw party in the village like anything. But the moment the shortest eye, that was gone. I lost my childhood because I had to quickly grow up, couple with my brother and all of that. Many times drop out of school. Things became so tough. And it's the same thing if you're married, don't just focus on money to spend to. I've seen this all. People
mm,
with money, once you have spendable money, you are poor and broke. But
mm,
when you have money that is working for you, invested, that is where you should be looking at. And young people do this, especially when it comes to marriage. The first thing is that they want to throw the best. They say wedding is your best. You only do it one time. Says who? Who said that you only can do your wedding one time? You can decide to go to a court, buy a ring, go marry, and later on show off wedding when you can have those spendable money. You can spend it without even worrying because you are not spending your capital, you're spending profit, not capital. Many people eat their seed during
mm,
wedding. A lot of people, you see somebody that is not working, you are not, you don't have anything, but you're feeding a community when you're making wedding. That is not how finance should be. I tell people, sit down, think about the future. Don't write people off. Don't marry somebody because this person can afford to give you this right now. Marry somebody that can afford to give you freedom, to give you choices, and freedom of time and location, to give you good moments with your family, that you don't have to struggle. And I tell somebody to build wealth, you also need to pay the sacrifice. I know I come on this show, people who want me to wear wig and all of that. No, I tell people there are three stages of wealth creation. There's the survivor stage, there is the existence stage, and there is the living stage. And it don't matter how much money you've made, if you've not gone through these different stages, forget about it. That's why you see nobody that has won a lottery has become a billionaire.
mm,
Ask them, you won a lottery, the next, ask them 6 months from then, that money is gone and they're back to square one. So money is not the issue. Having good financial principle and knowledge how to build and building together is a beautiful thing. Wealth creation is a journey, and that is one of the things I'm passionate I teach people. And most importantly, life insurance. Imagine that my dad had a life insurance. What would have been our future? Not just me, but my brothers. Many people are building finances, setting up their finances from roof down without any foundation. That is one thing I say about life insurance. Giving you that cushion if anything happen. And I tell people right now, I don't know, at least if you're in the US and Canada, you have different type of insurance products. And I know again, there are insurance products in Nigeria because I've spoken with a lot of people that have done that in Nigeria. Try to get you something. I don't care where you are, except if you know that you are self-insured, then awesome. But if you're starting out, have something in case something happens. And if you're in the US, there are insurances with living benefits. And that's one of the things that I talk to people, understanding all your options and planning accordingly for you right now and for the future. And for the young people, getting into marriage and thinking I need to have all of this put together to give what's it called before I go into marriage. You don't need to. You can start small. Every 1 naira you have is a seed. It's either you sow it, you, you spend it. There are three things people do. Well, four things people do with money. When you have money, it's either you spend it, it's either you invest it, means that you have an investment that you put that money into, be it stock, be it real estate, be it gold, it's all different type of investments that you can put your money into, or bonds, all of those things that it yields interest and grows for you, or you save it. You can put in a savings account, you can put it in your checking account, or you're saving it. Or you spend it, means that you use it to pay your bills and all of that, or you waste it. A lot of people, majority of people waste money. How do you know you're wasting money? You have 5 pairs of the same type of shoes. You have different length of the same type of wig. Buying ashwebi every day. Every wedding, you're on the list of ashwebi, whether you know the person or you don't know the person because you want to go eat food or show off. Repainting your house when you don't even have to, because you want to show off to the other neighbors that yes, we have the money. So it's either you waste those money, or you save, invest, or do what? Or spend. And I tell people again, if you're married, many people focus so much on pouring money on their kids without investing in their kids' future. You buy them. There are people that when you go to their house, it's almost like it's a toy store. Kids have different type of toys, but there is nothing left for the kids' education and for the kids' future. You can today, I don't care. You can be making less than $100,000, but you can make your kids a millionaire before the kids start even working. There are so many things you can do. I tell people, if you understand how money works, then money is not the issue. The only way people remain poor is because you do not have financial understanding of how to make money work for you. Get a mentorship. I do coaching. I coach people on finances, and we can talk about so many other things you can do with your money as married people. I don't decide to marry because of what you see today. Decide to marry somebody because of where you see them going in the future. Especially when it comes to their wealth. Decide where they are going in the future, not just what they are doing today and where they are today. I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Blessing. That was so powerful. Thank you so much. So, if anyone wants to connect with Miss Blessing, I just put a handle on Facebook in the comment section. Try to reach out to her. Your geographical location should not stop you from investing right, from planning your finances right, because irrespective of where you live, we all spend money. That is what drives the world. And you need a financial stable mind and principle for you to achieve everything that you set your heart to achieve. And you can't do this by yourself. You can do it with the help of God. And there are some people that God has given the wisdom to help you. Again, your location shouldn't deprive you or be a stumbling block. Mrs. Blessing can be a blessing to you. She can chip in some ideas that can help you. And again, she has said it all. What you are currently earning is not a yardstick. You can grow yourself from there up, and you become who God wants you to become so that you can affect life positively around you. Because it's not about you. You're not living for you. You're living for the next person, the next generation, and the lives that you can impact positively. And this is what this show is all about. And to Mrs. Oyedokun, she has said a whole lot today also about infertility, delay in childbearing, young adult female having painful menstrual cycle. It is not normal. And she also does a whole lot of stuff about mentorship, helping, seeking advice. What do we do? IVF, IUD. Speak out. You are not created to just keep silent. When you keep silent, your problem will be silent. It will shut down. Speak to these two people. Our goal on this show is to help married couples to remain married and to help young adults to choose wisely. And these two critical things that we've discussed today, finances and fertility or infertility or delay in childbirth, they are powerful tools that can affect marriage, that can crumble homes. Please reach out to them or reach out to us. And back to our speakers today, we really, really appreciate you for your time. I didn't take this for granted. And I pray that God, in His infinite mercy, will continue to uphold your home, will uphold your marriage, will keep your children, and will continue to bless you and more wisdom so that you can positively impact the whole world. And I pray that your light will always give goodness, mercy, blessing, and God will continue to uphold you. And your marriage will not be broken in Jesus' mighty name. And thank you for making it a day with us today. to come on the show 2 times. I really, really appreciate that. I didn't take it for granted. And thank you for pouring into people and for blessing lives. And to the viewers at home, we really, really want to appreciate you for staying with us up to this moment. Again, the best thing you can do to help others out there is to share this video with them. You will be saving lives by doing that. Share it on your platform. And I really, really appreciate you for joining us on today's show. And this is your girl, Cecilia Howard. We'll be stopping right here. And until next week, same time, when I come your way, I wish you a blessed day. I wish you a blessed week. We love you and have a wonderful day. Bye for now. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.